I know that people are going to call this out as bullshit, so I'll just say it right now. I'm a demon. At least that's what most people would call me. The truth of what I am and where I'm from is a bit out of the understanding of corporeal beings. Suffice to say, the body I'm currently residing in is not mine. This fragile meat suit belongs to a vapid 19-year-old named Sydney. She spends most of her days doing the things you expect a vapid 19-year-old to do. At least, she used to spend most of her days doing the things you would expect a vibrant 19-year-old girls to do. At least she used to spend most of her days posting in 20 different positions before deciding finally posting that Instagram selfie. She used to go out with her friends and jump out of her seat at the very slightest of jump scares. She also used to have her friends over to her dorm room and play around with a Ouija board. To be fair to Sydney, she only did that once. Under normal circumstances, a Ouija board is a piece of shit. You don't get in contact with ghosts or demons or any of that sort of nonsense. This time though, Sarah, Sydney's bestie, decided to bring a friend of hers to their little summon a demon night. And this friend, who according to Sydney's memories, was either named Cheryl or Cynthia, decided to bring a very special book with them, along with many other things. This book has a list of names that shouldn't exist anymore. One of those names is mine, and before you think it, no, I'm not going to tell you my name. One of the few things that your human understanding of us is right about is the fact that our names are truly us. If you know our names, if you invoke it, then you have power over us. And I'm not dumb enough to give a bunch of random people on the internet my name. So somehow, someway, this Cheryl has a book with our actual names in it, and Sydney had the bright idea to read my name out loud and asked to speak to me on the Ouija board. To be honest, the Ouija wasn't even necessary. The first time she called my name, I was listening. I was curious. How, after 500 years, did humans know any of our names again? The last of the books were supposed to have been burnt and our names wiped from the annals of human knowledge, so that none of my brothers and sisters would have to go through being called ever again. You conquered the greatest reavengers of men, the killers too small to see, and turned them into footnotes in your history books. There is a reason my siblings tried to wipe our names from the world. You frightened us. Humanity is terrifying. The words you speak from an organ of flesh and sinew bind us and control us. Yes, to you we were terrifying. Ethereal beings of unlimited power, immortal keepers of knowledge that you beings of flesh can never grasp. So I watched the girls and their little board game, screaming at every answer the planchette gave. Then Sydney had to go and do the dumbest thing I could imagine someone doing. She called my name and asked me to possess her. For my prospect, now I understand her idiocy. She doesn't actually believe anything paranormal. She just thinks that it's fun to be scared. That is something I'll never understand about humanity. You spent the entire eternity of your existence fighting the things that make you scared. Before you even had a written language, you slaughtered the last of the mammoths because their visage frightened you. You took one of the creatures most like you, a pack animal capable of hunting anything to extinction, and you turned them into toy poodles and pugs. Even now, you conquered the greatest re-avengers of men, the killers too small to see, that turned them into footnotes in your history books. There is a reason my siblings tried to wipe our names from the world. You frightened us. Humanity is terrifying. The words you speak from the organ of flesh and sinew blind us and control us, yes. To you, we were frightening. Ethereal beings of unlimited power, immortal keepers of knowledge that you beings of flesh can never grasp. As you can imagine, the first thing I did when Sydney ordered me to possess her was to try and grab that book from Cheryl. It somehow had my name in it, and I wanted to keep any of you meatbags from calling for me again. Sydney's limited perspective, unfortunately, gave Cheryl enough time to grab the book before I could. She knew I was coming. She knew the first thing I would do is try to grab that book from her. Cheryl knew who I was, what I was, and she knew what I wanted. This girl was more than a vibrant teenager seeking a stupid thrill. This girl knew exactly what she was doing. This only motivated me to grab the book more, because the only thing scarier than a stupid human who doesn't know what they're doing is a human who knows exactly what they're doing. So I grabbed her by her dumbass black-dyed hair and tried to grab the book from her. That bitch, though the bitch Sarah grabbed my arms and pulled me back from the only thing I wanted. Her and two of the other ones held me down until the campus security arrived to haul me off to some cell made of iron and steel, where I was transferred to another cell of white paint and shoes with no shoelaces, supposedly so the patients couldn't hurt themselves. Sonny Acer's mental hospital. Don't be fooled by the name. This place is a prison. They dull my senses with medications and make me question my purpose with inane questions about how I'm feeling and asking me why I'm so angry all of the time. They don't listen. Of course, because if they did, they would know exactly what I want and understand my anger. But they don't listen. They write down what I say and force-feed me pills to dull my thinking. But time has passed, and as more time passes, the more Sydney's memories become my memories. And with these memories come knowledge of how her world works. So I use this body that no longer belongs to Sydney, and I paid one of the nurses to use their phone. I did this for two reasons. One reason is to tell all of humanity, no, just how terrifying and disgusting you all are. You conquer this world one step at a time and invent horrors to scare yourselves with because you already destroyed everything that terrified you. You put everything that use in the dark as a weapon and put it under a spotlight so you could laugh at how ridiculous it looks under the light. The second reason is because I want Cheryl to know this. Every day I remember more and more of the person Sydney is. Every day I imitate her better. Every day the doctor believe my emission more and more. I am forever, Cheryl. All I have is time. At least, at some point, I will get out of this whitewashed prison, and when I do, I'm coming for you.